For centuries, we have been told that energy is scarce, that it must be mined from the earth in the form of coal, or ripped from the ground as oil, or created through the dangerous splitting of atoms. We have built a global civilization on the back of a lie, that power must be generated by force, by burning, by destruction. But what if the ultimate source of energy wasn't something you had to drill for or fight over? What if it was literally right beneath your feet? What if the very soil in your backyard could be transformed into a limitless, self-sustaining power plant? Forget everything you know about solar panels and wind turbines. Forget the massive power grids and the billion-dollar infrastructure. The secret to infinite energy is not in the sky. It is in the ground, and it has been hiding in plain sight for over a century. We are talking about the electric soil secret, a phenomenon so powerful, so elegant, and so simple that it threatens to upend the entire global energy order. A secret that involves burying two of humanity's oldest materials, copper and wood, to create a continuous, inexhaustible flow of electricity. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a fairy tale. This is physics. This is chemistry, and it is the most important discovery you have never heard of. The story begins not in a high-tech laboratory filled with white coats and supercomputers, but in the 19th century with a forgotten Italian physicist named Luigi Palmieri. While the world was obsessed with the telegraph and the promise of instant communication, Palmieri was experimenting with the very essence of the Earth itself. He discovered something extraordinary. He found that by simply inserting two different metals into the ground, a measurable, continuous electrical current would flow between them. He had, in essence, created the world's first ground battery. But his discovery was dismissed as a novelty, a parlor trick. The world wasn't ready. It was too busy digging up coal to power the Industrial Revolution. But Palmieri had stumbled upon a universal truth. The Earth is not an inert ball of dirt and rock. It is a living, breathing, electrochemical machine. It is a giant, self-charging battery. And by understanding its simple language, we can tap into its infinite power. So how does this electric soil actually work? Let's strip away the mystery. At its core, it's a story of a cosmic dance between the earth and the sky, between metals and moisture, between life and decay. Think of the ground as a vast ocean of ions. Rainwater soaks into the soil, carrying dissolved minerals and salts. This creates an electrolyte, a liquid that can conduct electricity. This is the magic potion. Now introduce two different materials into this conductive bath. One is copper, a noble metal resistant to corrosion. The other is wood, or more specifically, carbon-rich material like charcoal or biochar. This is where the genius of the design comes in. The wood, especially when transformed into charcoal, is not just a filler, it is a superpowered electrode. Charcoal is incredibly porous, like a microscopic sponge. It soaks up the electrolyte, providing a massive surface area for chemical reactions to occur. But its true power lies in its relationship with the microorganisms living in the soil. The soil is teeming with bacteria, tiny life forms that are constantly consuming organic matter, and in the process releasing electrons. This is the secret that Palmieri missed. It's not just about the metals, it's about life. The bacteria in the soil colonize the porous charcoal. They feed on the carbon and other nutrients, and as they metabolize, they create a flow of electrons. They essentially turn the charcoal into a biological anode, a negative terminal that is constantly pumping out electrons. The copper, buried nearby, acts as the cathode, the positive terminal. The electrolyte, the moist, mineral-rich soil, completes the circuit. The electrons want to travel from the negative charcoal to the positive copper, and when you connect the two with a wire above ground, they do exactly that. A current flows, not in a sudden destructive burst, but in a steady, gentle, eternal stream. This is not a chemical reaction that consumes its components like a standard battery. This is a living system. It regenerates. It is fueled by the ongoing biological activity of the soil and the constant replenishment of the electrolyte by rain. It is, for all intents and purposes, a perpetual motion machine powered by the earth itself. Imagine the implications. Imagine a future where your house is not connected to a grid, it is connected to its own yard. You dig a trench, you bury a simple arrangement of copper plates and charcoal briquettes, you cover it with dirt, and you have a power source that will last for decades, possibly centuries. No fuel to buy, no moving parts to break, no noisy wind turbine blades, no solar panels that fail when the sun goes down. Just the silent, ceaseless heartbeat of the planet, powering your lights, your appliances, your life. This is the technology that could end energy poverty forever. There are over 1 billion people on this planet who still live without electricity. Their nights are dark, their children cannot study, their clinics cannot store vaccines. The solution is not to build massive, expensive power plants and string thousands of miles of cable to reach remote villages. The solution is to put a shovel in their hands, to teach them how to build their own power source from the dirt under their feet and a few simple materials. Copper wire and wood. That's it. That's the billion-dollar secret. That's the key to unlocking a decentralized, democratic energy revolution. It puts the power back in the hands of the people, where it has always belonged. Now, we must address the skeptics, the energy cartels, the utility companies, the governments invested in the old ways of doing things. They will tell you this is impossible. They will say the power output is too low, that it's only a few milliwatts, not enough to run a toaster, let alone a house. And on the surface, they are right. A single ground cell produces a small voltage. But this is a failure of imagination, not a flaw in the technology. Think about it. A single solar cell produces a tiny amount of power, but you wire hundreds of them together and you get a solar panel. You wire hundreds of panels together and you get a solar farm. The same principle applies here. An electric soil system is modular. You don't build one cell, you create an array. You create a grid of copper and charcoal buried in the earth, all connected in series and parallel. You are, in effect, creating an underground power plant. The output is not limited by the chemistry, it's limited only by the size of your yard. Early experiments have already shown that a modest-sized system can generate enough continuous power to run low-voltage LED lighting, charge batteries, and power sensors and communication devices. The next step is scaling up. We are on the cusp of developing advanced biochar electrodes, engineered for maximum conductivity and microbial colonization. We are learning to pair specific soil types with specific alloy metals to optimize the flow. We are learning to harness the thermoelectric gradient, the difference in temperature between the surface and the deep earth, to generate even more power. This is not just a battery, it is a hybrid system. It combines the galvanic action of dissimilar metals with the biological fuel cell of microbial activity and the thermal energy stored deep within the planet. It is a symphony of natural forces, all conducted by the simple act of burying copper and wood. And let's talk about the materials. Copper is the most efficient, cost-effective conductor on Earth. It is recyclable, durable, and abundant. Wood is the original sustainable resource. By using waste wood to create biochar, we are not only generating energy, but also sequestering carbon, improving soil health, and preventing forest fires. We are creating a virtuous cycle. We are healing the planet while powering it.
This is the electric soil secret. It is the realization that we have been looking for energy in all the wrong places. We have been drilling deeper, building taller, and taking greater risks when the answer was always right there, in the quiet, living earth beneath our feet. Imagine a world without power lines, without the hum of transformers, without the fear of blackouts. Imagine a world where every home, every farm, every community is energy independent, where your garden doesn't just grow your food, it powers your life. This is not a utopian dream. This is a practical, achievable, and inevitable future. The technology is old, but the understanding is new. We are finally listening to what the Earth has been trying to tell us for millennia. It is a living being, pulsing with energy. All we have to do is learn how to connect with it. So the next time you walk out into your yard, look down. Don't just see dirt and grass. See potential. See power. See a world where the line between nature and technology is erased. See a world where the most advanced power plant on Earth is the one you build yourself with a piece of copper, a pile of wood, and the most abundant resource in the universe, the living soil. The secret is out. The Earth is the battery. The grid is obsolete, and the future of energy is buried 6 feet under, waiting for us to finally plug in. If you found this fascinating, take a moment to support the channel. Tap the like button so more people can discover this video. Share it with someone who loves gardening, science, or simple off-grid ideas. And don't forget to subscribe to Everyday Harvest for more hidden secrets of nature, soil, and sustainable living. Your support helps Everyday Harvest keep uncovering the incredible things happening right beneath our feet.